Good evening. Cinevangelist here with another sermon, this time about the villain Walt Disney. He hired Ub Iwerks, who was one of the most brilliant cartoonists and animators who ever lived. Because when he hired Ub Iwerks, Ub developed Steamboat Willie for him and Oswald Rabbit, which he promptly took to New York in his little briefcase on the train and got funding to get his studio going. So when back in Hollywood, then he's running the studio, and Iwerks is working for him, developing silly symphonies, all the background drawings, and all the real heavy lifting work for the characters on Snow White, which was going to go on later after 2 more years of development with Ub's original drawings to win the Oscar in 1936, the first ever full-length animated film. In 1930, when Iwerks was sick and tired of not getting paid enough and not getting the proper screen credit for his work, he quit and started his own company. He had the wit and luck to hire Chuck Jones, and they worked together. So Chuck Jones had a huge influence from Ub Iwerks. And Chuck pointed out that Iwerks spelled backwards spells screwy. They stayed in business through the Depression, and then finally in 1936, he folded and had to go to work for Leon Schlesinger, the other big, well, about Disney's size, the other big animation studio who were supplying the movie houses with regular animated cartoons for Warner Brothers. And he worked with Bob Clampett, developing Gabby the Goat, and he developed Porky Pig. And after that, Disney won he worked there until Disney won the Oscar with his work. And then Disney knew he needed Iwerks. He knew that Iwerks was one of the only people that could do the things he wanted to have done. So he rehired him, and under new conditions, and hired him as the special effects expert, the special effects technician for Disney Studios. So the main thing that Iwerks did after that, the most revolutionary thing, was he developed the process for live action mixed with animation, as in when he did the Song of the South for Disney. And he also, Ub Iwerks, uncredited, designed Disneyland. He did all the design work for the animatronics. When you see Abraham Lincoln giving the Gettysburg Address, Iwerks did that. He was an engineering and creative genius. That's as simply put. And he eventually, in 1963, was nominated for the Oscar for developing the mechanical birds for Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. And he is a name that should be way, way up in lights, and Disney's should be way, way down in darks. Anyway, I just wanted to share with you the reality of somebody with the power of Disney being able to just take somebody's work and have perfect right to it and get away with it, get away with murder. By the way, the evolutionary line of animation starts with Winsor McCay and Gertie the Dinosaur, and then is picked up by Ub Iwerks, who was very heavily influenced by Winsor McCay. And Iwerks, not Disney, takes it all the way through, and now we find out that Iwerks was the main influence for Miyazaki and Ghibli Studios, who carried his naturalistic, beautiful, rounded animation style into the present and the future.